Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel where we discuss all things narcissism, and this video is going to be about 5 signs that you could be dealing with a covert narcissist. We can often think about the grandiose narcissist who's full of that charismatic charm and their arrogance and has enough people believing in them or fearing them that no one dare to speak out against them, even when you can begin to recognize their behaviors and the things that they do. When it comes to covert narcissism, all narcissistic people are able of behaving in covert ways, as this is when they're trying to keep their behavior, their true intentions hidden from those around them. However, you can be dealing with a narcissistic person who isn't as in your face, isn't as grandiose. Therefore, they can display signs of passive self-importance. They might actually go around putting themselves down purposefully so that you build them up, so that you give them the attention. When they turn around, this isn't somebody who goes out and does something without other people knowing, and then other people find out that they went out and did something, and then they try and praise that person who just did something for no other reason than they wanted to do it. And then people find out and go and praise that person, and that person just turns around and says, "Oh, it was nothing. Don't worry about it. Leave it. Let's just not talk about it. Let's talk about you. Let's talk about somebody else." This isn't that kind of person. This is the kind of person that will do something for somebody else, and they will do it in a manner where there is an audience, and they will keep trying to subtly point out what they're doing, so that people say, "Oh, look at how kind they are. Look at how helpful they are." And then they turn around and say, "Oh, not really. No, it's not much, is it really? I could be doing a lot more." So that then people say, "No, you're doing plenty. You're doing more than enough. We appreciate your help." "Yes, but I could be doing more if I tried. I really need to get my act together. But it's very difficult with everything that's going off." Yet they'll not tell you what's going off. They'll leave you to jump to a conclusion about what's happening. So if they're regularly there doing something, and then they've planned something that you know nothing about and that you can't know about because that's their other lifestyle, the other life that they lead, so you can't know. They're supposed to be there helping out, and they've gone and booked a holiday, and they need to get out of helping you for a couple of weeks. So they're going to come in and say, "Oh, I've got to go somewhere for some tests. So depending what happens, I might not be in." And then everyone's then all of a sudden full of concern. They're not going for any tests, they're going on a lavish holiday. But they don't want the people they're informing to know that. So they have that passive self-importance where they can feign an illness in order to gain attention. They can come on with the biggest headache and then still be there to help you, and you're then telling them to go and sit down, go and rest, go and treat yourself. Genuine people, often who have a headache, might say, "I've got a headache, I'm going to go and sit down," or "I've got a headache, but I'm going to get this done." Narcissistic people do it on a regular pattern. It's a behaviour within them that they learn to become dependent on in order to get away with doing something or get away with not doing something. They tear themselves down, not because they've been torn down and they just don't have that confidence or that self-belief within themselves. They tear themselves down in order to gain that admiration from others. They also don't do anything for others unless there is something that they can take. You might not even know what they're taking from you. However, when it comes to covert narcissism, they are looking for that admiration. So they might come on strong and be really overly helpful, overly nice, so that you praise them and they can say, oh, it's nothing, don't worry about it. They're showing you with one hand how kind and genuine they can be, yet behind your back they're taking things from you. They're stealing things from you. They're lying to you. They're deceiving you. They're hiding who they truly are from you. When a narcissistic person meets a new source of supply, if that new source of supply has children, they can go all out with those children, dropping them off at school, picking them up from school, making the food, taking them to the activities. They will go above and beyond and just say, oh, it's nothing. It's what anyone would do. And it's not what anyone would do. It's what they're doing to manipulate you. People might do things for their own children. People might do things for other people's children. However, a narcissistic person goes too far. And then you are influenced into believing and trusting within them. And then once they've got you where they want you, that's when they stop doing those things for you. Yet they find a way to blame you and shame you. However, while they're doing everything for their new supplies children, because they'd rather impress a stranger to gain the admiration and to gain the alibi of how good they are, they'll be ignoring their own children, yet claiming that the ex won't allow them to see their children. The ex is bitter. The worries me, to gain that sympathetic attention. And then when the new supply realises who the narcissist is, they can often feel too stupid to speak out. They can often try harder to make it work, to prove that the narcissist wasn't the issue. That the reality they lived was actually falsified by the narcissist, who sold them an illusion in order for the narcissist to get their own way, yet they lived that reality with them. So narcissistic people only do for others so they can take something from others. They're also extremely envious, so they will happily gossip about others. They will happily pull other people down. And they can do it in a format where they just turn around and say, what do you think about when so-and-so did this? To get you to be the one that speaks badly. To get you to be the one that pulls somebody else down. Or they can come and say, hey, so-and-so said, I don't want to interfere, but so-and-so said this about you. And then you're on the defensive and say, really, that's what they really think. Well, if that's what they really think, then, and you say something about them, and then the narcissist takes that information that you actually said and feeds it back to that person to cause that divide and conquer, so that you can't communicate with each other about what is happening. They will happily pull everybody else down, usually because they're envious of those other people, or they don't want to see other people do well, or they want to feel better about themselves because they want to see the imperfections in others, and they want to point out other people's flaws and weaknesses so that people look poorly on that other person and the narcissist can feel smug about themselves. Another thing they will do is blame. Nothing is ever their fault. It's always somebody else's fault. Somebody else always made them do it. They do not take responsibility for their behaviour, and they usually do it in that victim mindset so that you feel like you can't say anything, because if you do say anything, then you get accused of attacking them. And when you get accused of attacking them, people look poorly on you. People look badly on you. They're looking to ruin your reputation so that they can keep theirs intact. And when you do have a valid argument to discuss something with them, to debate something with them that might touch on something personal or something offensive, they're just going to attack you. They're going to attack your motives. They're going to attack your intentions. They're going to accuse you of things that you're not feeling or not thinking or not doing in order for them to try and win the argument, because they want to silence you. And the easiest way for them to silence you is by accusing you of doing something that you're not, so people look poorly on you and respect the narcissist for calling you out when all you was trying to do was have a healthy debate about something that they don't want discussing because they don't want their behaviour being brought into light. When it comes to narcissistic, covert, manipulative people, the best way to deal with these people is to walk away, go no contact, leave them to it, recognise their behaviour, recognise their games, take your emotions out of the equation, because emotional manipulators need your emotions to get you. Stop defending yourself to them. Stop reacting to them. Leave them to it. Yes, some are going to feel insignificant when they're not getting the reaction and will up their games. Others will leave you alone a lot sooner. And unfortunately, people do have to figure out who they are dealing with for themselves. As when you try to tell someone that they're dealing with a narcissistic person, the narcissist is going to accuse you of being jealous of the relationship that they have. And that person is then usually going to work harder to keep hold of the narcissist, and the narcissist is getting the attention they believe they're entitled to, and the narcissist often believes that you're the one that's bitter and jealous and you would have them back in a flash. And with the trauma bond, sometimes we can take them back. It takes an average of 7 attempts to get out of these kinds of relationships. So some people do get out on the first, some people it is their 21st or more. So when it comes to dealing with narcissistic people, the best way is to recognise their games and no longer play. Walk away. Leave them to it. Go and live your life and let them go and live theirs. If anyone has any thoughts on this video, please do add those into the comments. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers and your continuous support with the channel. It's greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about narcissistic behaviour to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with within your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you understand and overcome narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. If you are looking for further help and support in understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the video description. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.